So this is my work area, which is basically workbench with plastic over it. Put a little hole for my vise. And pretty much all of the shavings are easy to clean up. This obviously isn't a woodworker's vise. It's just a plain old steel vise, but it works as long as you don't over tighten it. You have to be careful about that. But I've got my stave in there. I'm going to take that top down to the line that I've scribed in there, which leaves about 5/8 of an inch of the wood. You're going to try and make that uniform all the way around. When you're taking this off and you're using your planer, I've found that if you go straight across the wood grain, which is what you have to do since it's a skirt, if you go straight across the wood grain, a lot of times you're going to end up with this right here blowing out on you, and then you end up a big chunk on the back side of your stave. That's no good. And the reason that happens is because basically that little drum there has a blade on it, and that's what's taking off the material. And so what I've found with my cheapy planer here is if you go at a slight angle, that doesn't happen nearly as much. So that's what I've started doing, and it yields a pretty good result. These American barrels that I'm using, they have some really thin staves, which makes it kind of hard to take them apart and put them back together. But what you'll find on some of these is that they're a tongue and groove construction. So what you have to do is take off just enough where you can still use that. So we're going to take this down to about there and put it back together. Sometimes these are hard to get apart. You just smack them with a mallet and get them apart. If you see the line here that I've marked with my square, if you take that, put it on this end, that 6-inch hash is where I was, and that'll leave just the right amount. So if you have tongue and groove, you might want to do those first so you know how thick this whole thing's going to be. This is just a little over, that's about 11/16 inch thick.